feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? Just join the debate by saying more crazy things. Donald.
Now, in all fairness to Secretary Clinton, yes, is that okay? Good. I want you to be very happy. It's very important.
Donald, she has a name.
Where did you find
her
this?
name
Where
is
did you find
Alicia
this?
Machado.
Where did you find
and
it? And Hillary, I just ask you this. You've been doing this for 30 years. Why are you just thinking about these solutions right now? She's telling us how to fight ISIS. Just go to her website. She tells you how to fight ISIS on her website. I don't think General Douglas MacArthur would like that too much. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life.
Go to the fact checkers, get to work.
You are unpacking a lot here.
A man who can be provoked by a tweet should not have his fingers anywhere near the nuclear codes.
She doesn't have the stamina. I said she doesn't have the stamina, and I don't believe she does have the stamina.
Hi, Susan. Now it's my time to introduce you. So, I haven't heard that you have been really bad with your date. You have been really, really bad with your cats. You haven't been feeding them. You hit them. You have been really, really bad with them. So why are you doing this?
Me? Why you says that? Do you know that I donate to many associations? Do you know that I feed my raccoons? Do you know that I feed the feral cats? Why you says that? Somebody accused me? You know, in the past, you can say that dating, all my ex-dates are my friends. I don't know why you says that. Let me tell you, you want to talk to them? Hi everyone, my name is Susan Ibitz. I'm a human behavior hacker. Some people hack computers, I hack humans. Elba, the mean one.
Hi everyone, I am Elba Uribe. I'm a human behavior hacker too, and I'm the CEO of Latin America.
Elba, what the heck was that?
It's about how you frame the things that people are accusing you. How you frame, how you defend yourself. What is the good way to do it? How you can do it in a better way, not to put the spot in the bad things that people say about you.
One of the things that we talk a lot of times, but we never have gone deeper, is for 18 years, my first career was as a political consultant. I wasn't collecting money. I was an expert in manipulation. And one of the things that I worked for a long time was talking about on the political debates, how to provoke others and how to not reply. I use a lot of people and a lot of artists and a lot of books from 500 years ago, but guess what? Now universities are using those studies to determine and establish those phrases and those theories 500 years ago is still working. So the other work, political manipulation. Let's go to the show.
Profiling a customer is the challenge sales reps face every day. What if I tell you you can read anyone in 90 seconds? What if I tell you it can be done? Come to learn with us, Human Behavior Hacker School.
Politics happen, and for the next year and a half, 2 years, we're going to have a shithole happening. So what we did on the beginning was an exercise called pre-debate. When you go into a debate with another candidate, the way you prepare your candidates, the same way you prepare a witness or a client or an expert when you're going to go to court, is you go to the ABC testing. What you do is you give the person an attack phrase, and this person need to prepare 3 possible scenarios. Why? If it says, Elba, you haven't been feeding your kids, and like, no, it's not true. Where you get that information? That is your personal opinion. Now, you always need to be prepared for the other person reply to you in a way that you don't expect it, or that question came framing or attached to a context that you said. Let's be clear. If I says, you haven't been feeding your kids, you need to prepare B. That says, by me, says by the judge, or says by the opponent political, or just the mediator on the debate. So when this happens, we need to frame on the right way how we keep calm. And the most important, what not to do. And when we need to look at the example, we liken this to, that was a circus. And when you need this, go to the circus, you need to go to the clown. I don't care Republican, I don't care Democrats, I don't affiliate it to any political party. Why? Because at the end of the day, I worked with them for 18 years. I know where this is coming from. So we're going to review 5 parts of one of the political debates so you can understand what happened. Now, your question probably is, what the heck? Elections finished yesterday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. Why are you doing this today? The truth to be told, we have a contract and we were not supposed to talk about what is going on. But since Tuesday, midnight, the contract is done, so we can talk about this. This is a show where you're going to learn how to apply in every step of your life. But we're going to use the political arena to teach you. Elba, this is going to be fun.
Yes, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a learning path. So it's not about who you are with. It's not about if you are Republican or if you are Democrat. It's about how you can get inside the situations and how you can frame the things and say the things in a good way.
Yeah, and always in your favor. Oh, how you can kill your opponent. Yes, literally, socially kill your opponent. Honey, this is going to be fun. Let's go to the show.
Let's go to the show.
Okay, we were supposed to start recording, but the truth to be told, guys, when we see this, start laughing. I did it, I know, but it's still acting is so fun. The faces of these two, come on, Elba, is funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, for me, it was like start laughing because you can imagine, you can start like feeling the faces and the emotion that they have behind of that faces.
Yeah, the art of war, political manipulation, and yes, it's happening. So we're going to start with something. Last Sunday, we published that we have a new website and we have new pictures on the company. And I cannot wait for you, my darling, to be the victim of the photographer when they need to take your pictures.
You're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Now that we're doing the website in Spanish, you need to survive. The truth to be told, in order for me to get in front of the camera and do these pictures, I was in my 3rd glass of wine. I need to be honest. I've been delaying this picture for 45 days. So the idea and why we did the pictures this way is only to explain you why the show is the way it is today. By the way, this is from the new website. So it was about not being unapologetically yourself. Put yourself out there, how people is going to perceive you. And one of the things that we have been doing wrong for a long time is not to be ourselves, not to put it like, yeah, we teach manipulation, we work on that, we teach others how to do it. So let's put it out there. I love shows with the skulls. I love skulls. That's me every day outside camera. So that is the new avatar. When you see this picture, you're not going to send your kids to work with us. You're not going to call, can you hold my hand for emotional? I know. Now, if you want to get the things done, that is the picture who tell you to get the things done. Why are we talking about this? Because in a study done and published by Political Science Association in 2014 by Princeton University, says about how the image the politicians give is important. So the study is testing theories of American politics, elites, interest group, and average citizen. And they find out that political influence by faces over the people who are going to vote for them, facial characteristic. So the reason in our team we have stylists, makeup artists, nurses to do your feeling and your fillers, your Botox in your face is because do you think people is going to be paying attention? What is your bandera or what is your color? Red, blue, the donkey or the elephant or whatever? No. People is going to have a perception of you as soon as they see you. Actually, there are studies done that they record teachers and they took the audio of those teachers. They get 50 seconds of the class and people determine if they're going to like the teacher even before they met them. Why? They show to 538 people pics of 2 contestants. The time frame they show those pictures, pay attention, 1/10 of the second, 1/10 of the second. And guess what? Elba, this is all yours. What happened?
70% of accuracy.
Of who is going to want to lose.
Yes.
So how you portray yourself, how you present yourself on the media, how you put yourself out there is going to be the image who's going to stick to people. Now, between Elba, you and you guys, we prefer like see the face and evaluate the words.
Yes.
But the commonwealth, the lame people who doesn't have maybe the tools, are going to be paying attention to the media mass, what everybody's saying, and what is the first perception about you. One of the phrases then you have, you tell me.
No, yeah, I was thinking on this because it's what here we can put face reading too. Why? Because if you have more rounded face and your features are more rounded, it's going to be more likable for people. So that's another thing too we can add to here. If the people looks more likely, they are going to be like, I like this, I like better this one than the other one. But it's about the features that the people is seeing.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened with Hillary is they overdid the Botox. They froze their expression. So every time that she smiled, she was like crazy face. Actually, one of the tags was crazy face or crazy Hillary because they did it wrong. Now, so when you go rounded, when you go rounded, what we call baby face is likable. Actually, you can be really skinny, you have round face, or you can be overweight and have a shape face. But they need to be certain feature. You need to soften it on the face. So there are studies too who says that when parents froze their emotions, they froze their crossfit, the kids don't have any reference. And if mom or dad is mad or happy. Actually, we're talking with our nurse, Gina, and she says like now is almost equal the amount of men and women who does fillers and Botox. And since the pandemic is over, it's like everybody go back to dating, everybody go to be in person. So they do it on the face. And another thing, there are other studies showing when you froze the crossfit, when you froze where the Duchenne smile should be happening, that is here, and you don't see it, there are more tendencies to get depressed. Actually, there are another theories on therapy that if you put a pen in your mouth,
yes,
what happened?
You smile.
And when you smile and you see yourself smiling, your brain thinks you're happy. So be careful what you do with your face, and be careful the crazy faces, and be careful the filters you use.
Yes, it's about, I think you need to be aware of it, because you need to be what is the perception that you want to project? So that's how you need to be aware. So you need to be like how I'm looking, how my hair, how my clothes, how everything.
Yeah, I love the spontaneity. Like I have done a lot of videos when I have my walk in, my best ideas happen, but it's framing on the like, okay, I'm walking on the beach with the sun behind, so it's okay. But when you're a politician, and when we were doing the studies on the dating apps, one of the most common things men ask, please, no filters. Yes. If you don't, a phrase that I love is, when we met, you don't look like your pictures, you buying drinks until you look like those. So men are complaining the women using filters all the time. The crazy part is women are complaining about the same. Apparently, it's not a gender thing anymore.
Nope, it's about everyone.
So when I met Elba a few years ago, I kept talking about this, and she's like, I drive her crazy with these phrases. There are a couple of people that I've been using for many, many years and in politics, and I still use it. Sun Tzu is one of them, Machiavelli, Oscar Wilde, Charles Bukowski, Henry Miller. Why? Because they teach things today that were taught 5,000 years ago, 500 years ago. And guess what? Universities are taking those studies or those phrases and doing studies on it. One of the phrases that every time that I need to present in front of a political campaign, a political state, or a future politician, or simple class about manipulation, I says this. This is how Sun Tzu say it. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to entertain him. Pretend to be weak that he may grow arrogant. And the reason Sun Tzu used he is because when he wrote this, didn't happen that women were there. No. My version, and Elba is going to finish the phrase, is If your opponent have a temper, provoke them and do
Nothing.
great. Why? Why you need to do nothing when you provoke other person? And it's going to explain why what I did wrong when Elba attacked me. I was defending myself.
Yes.
Elba, let's take this opportunity to understand what it means with if your opponent is a choleric temper, seek to irritate him and do nothing. And what did I did wrong in the beginning of the show? So we've set the ground for people to understand what we're going to show after.
Yes, it's like you start defending yourself. You start like putting excuses and putting things to say what I said. I was wrong, but you don't need to put that I was wrong, because it's my opinion. It's not the way you are. It's like you just need like, okay, you know what? This is your opinion. I don't agree because of this, and that. Because I do this, and that, and that's it. You don't need to defend yourself. You need to go with your things and where your knowledge, like really stick with it.
There's another friend in politics says, okay, we're gonna start a rumor about X and Y. And people says, well, who's gonna believe it? I don't care. I just want to see that person defending himself on the media. So I know, you know what? This new pace of Human Behavior Lab is like, we're gonna put it out there. That's what happened. That's what is going on. The difference is now we saying it, because now we have classes and teaching how this gets done on the media. So what happened is when somebody accuses you or somebody says something about you, it's happened to me a year and a half ago with a person who was, we let it go. We departed from that person, no more relationship. And this person was talking a lot of things about me personally. And a common friend of us who received this information says, Susan, you need to start calling everybody and apologizing. Guys. A, why I need to call to apologize? B, about what? The person is accusing me, I haven't done it. Third, why am I going to be reinforcing the theory? If I apologize for things that I didn't do, people is going to believe why you need to apologize if it has nothing to do. Actually happening in interrogation too. When a person says, you killed the person? No, what I do believe you because I didn't do it. That's it. An innocent person don't overselling.
No, and you know what? It's like when you go with the media and you put like things that are not true from another person, the media doesn't care about if it's true or if it's not. The thing here is that they are going to, you are going to go with the, how do you say it in English?
Tell me in Spanish.
It's no vas a ir con la masa. You need
you're not going to go with the crew. You don't need to go with the crew.
You don't need to go with that. The media just care about if you share it, not the accuracy of the information that you are putting.
They're going to blow things out of the media is going to blow things out of proportion only to seek to have if it's not shared, if it's not common, if people don't hate it or love it, and they put it on the media and they don't provoke a reaction, is dead. Now can happen. So let's put it outside the media. Let's put it in a company. Somebody start getting a rumor about you. So, and you know the rumor happened, and suddenly you walk in the kitchen and everybody like
start gossiping.
Hey, how you doing? You want coffee too? Another person who is over concerned or have the critical line here. If you have a line here between your lower lip and your chin, breathe, take a volume and let it go. Why? Do not defend yourself. When you defend yourself, the only thing you do is reinforce the idea. And just happen, you're not the center of attention. If you're not a politician, if you're not a public persona, you're not the center of attention. Probably 95% of the people is going to forget what they says. But if you reinforce, and every time that you see this person, you keep justifying, keep defending yourself, somebody's going to like, why you keep bringing and dragging that situation to me? And by the way, another study show that if I says, Elba, you're this and this and this and this, people are going to say, why you see only those characteristics of Elba when I don't see it? Maybe because you have it too. So people have the tendency to accredit it to you, the criticism and the bad things you see in others, as well the good things. If I says, Elba is an amazing mom. She, no matter what time it is, she takes care of the family. She does the work. She's the best profiler I have the chance to work with. I'm so proud of her. Like those things like, oh, how nice. They share common commonalities. But if I start talking wrong about her, those commonalities, being good or bad, are going to be assigned to me too.
Yes. And you know what? When you talk about that, it's like you put the spot on you. When you start talking about bad things from others, you put your spot on you, not for the other person, because at the end of the day, you don't need to defend yourself. Why? Because the people is going to defend you. When they know you, they're going to defend you. So that's why you don't need to do anything. You just need to let people talk, because others are going to be involved and they're going to say, no, you know what? That's not true. Why? Because I know her, because this, because of that. So that's how you need to stop. Let them be. Just they want to talk. I remember
when we were doing the website and says, okay, what testimonials we're going to use? And we have a testimonial that says, I just taught the manipulation class with Susan Ibitz. I don't know if I'm happy or sad, but one thing is for sure, I need to take a shower. I love that. I love that, that testimonial. I love it. And everybody was like, no, Susan, the company that we work in, Susan, we don't think it's proper. Like, I love it. To me, it's the best testimonial I have in my life. But they didn't agree, and I need to go with the people who knows more than we know. But those are the things who represent you. And talking about representation, and do not make the mistake to talk. I'm going to give you this to you. Anything else to add for Sansu? And we're going to be using Sansu for the next year and a half. And this next election, we're going to do the book that was too controversial last election. The last one. Elba and I wrote a book on profile of political candidates last election. Guess what? After we finished the book, we send it to the editor, and the editor says, we cannot publish the book. Why? It's too controversial in things that you says about certain profiles. And one of the candidates we never knew when the candidate, when there were 13 candidates, the pre-candidates have sent letters, and we're going to have a legal situation. We cannot publish the book. This time we're going to publish by ourselves. So nobody knows it's going to publish. You're going to sue us? Go after. This year's going to happen.
It's up to them. So
I don't care anymore. So when correction fails, the persistence of political misperception, Michigan University, March 2010. I'm so pissed off. This study came up just 2 years after I decided to quit politics. I'm so pissed off because it's something that we have been talking and we are teaching again. What we're talking here, I apply to politics, corporate America, sales, and personal life. Explain this to me. I'm going to read it and you explain it on LinkedIn.
Yes.
We also document several instances of a backfire effect in which corrections actually increase misperceptions among the group in question. And to give you the context, they give a group of people false information about a news, specifically about political candidates. Every time they says to these people that information was false, this is the right information, the only thing people did was reinforce the first information, even though proved wrong, was right, and they got to stick to that idea stronger. Elba, how this happening every day, and what you need to do that we have been talking until now regarding this.
When you go and use the backfire effect, you try to correct what people are saying about it. You don't need to do that, because why? You are putting like an amplification of the things. So it's like, you don't need to correct anyone. You need to put it out there and leave it out there. If people agree with you, it's okay. If not, it's okay too. Why? Because you still put in the spot on you, and people start like looking deeper and try to find out what are the bad things or perceptions that they have.
And we're going to go to Hillary versus Trump. Again, I don't freaking care about Democrats and I don't freaking care about Republicans. I care about a country where I can go and walk in on the street. I can pay my team. I can have safety and I can retire. What color that coming from, I don't care. The only thing I need to, yes, advice, I need to be completely honest with this. I work more with Republicans than Democrats. First, they pay more. They pay better. They pay in advance. They don't expect you to do pro bono. Another thing, Republicans, they don't care. I know that's Republicans, but Republicans, they don't care. It says, you do your job. Democrats going around, and they ended up hiring the wrong people with the wrong reasons. So that is my opinion. Susan Ivey has nothing to do with Elba Uribe, nothing to do with Human Behavioral Lab. Before Human Behavioral Lab, before Elba, everything, Susan Ivey was a political consultant, and I love it. I miss it. I think one of the biggest things that I regret in my life is have left political campaigns because I love to be anonymous. I don't like this exposure. I got burned out because I didn't know how to do it, because I took it to the teeth. I was working for 18 years, no vacation in 18 years. I finished a campaign on Tuesday, Wednesday morning, I was packing and going again. But I miss it. I miss the adrenaline. Adrenaline, I'm not going to lie, is one of the things that I miss and regret the most of my life. I want to go back and probably I'm going to do it. Or maybe we're going to do it. Are you ready?
Yes, I think we. And I agree with you, because this is not about the colors. This is not about what the people that they put to represent. It's about what they are offering for you and for your people. That's the point here.
Yeah. And what we specialize, manipulation. And that's the reason, if you do you feel you are being manipulated? If it's yes, great. If it's not, great too. Now, but you can understand how this works, the manipulation Bible. This is a shithole class, and I love it. And I think from all the classes that we have done, this is the one I like the most, personally. And you tell me, what do you think? We talk, my thesis in the uni in UK was about manipulation, obedience, false implanted memories, and false confessions. And this derailed to 7 years of me doing research, and we get it together with Elba, like, why we don't do a class? We have been teaching this. We have been using your thesis to teach people. Why don't you put it out there? So we compilate 150 years of studies and manipulation, obedience, and influence, who, by the way, is the same. Grab a dictionary, is the same thing. So we have been talking with dominatrix. We have been talking with people who have been victims of human trafficking. We have been talking with people who is part of the cult, former Nazis, Black people being from the Ku Klux Klan, crazy. And how the Harvard and CIA did a brainwash, and they made the Unabomber. Most people doesn't know the Unabomber. Kaczynski, at the age of 16, was in Harvard, and in agreement with the CIA, we're doing this crazy project about brainwashing. So how a person can become from nice person to an evil, the Darth Vader effect. That's the reason I love Darth Vader. Nurtured based on nature. So the class starts on November 14. Oh my God, a week only. Yes, a week only. So the manipulation Bible, go to the link below. I love this class. And by the way, the good point about this class is it doesn't end when the classes end. We're going to be bringing interviews, because this class, and we haven't signed yet, so I cannot say anything, but this class is going to be a book too. And apparently we're going to have a series and an important channel, then like our project, to become a 3-season series. So we're on the topic. So it's going to be there. Go for it. Now, hear this.
That's a good one.
I put it on the first slide only. I didn't put it. So we're going to run the video. And after the video, Elba and I, we're going to tell you what they did, how they did it, how to do it right, and how to do it wrong. Okay, pull.
Let's do this.
Let's go for it.
Start fight.
Okay, now you see.
But we have to stop our jobs from being stolen from us. We have to stop our companies from leaving the United States, and with it, firing all of their people. All you have to do is take a look at Carrier Air Conditioning in Indianapolis. They left, fired 1,400 people. They're going to Mexico. So many, hundreds and hundreds of companies are doing this. We cannot let it happen. Under my plan, I'll be reducing taxes tremendously, from 35% to 15% for companies, small and big businesses. That's going to be a job creator like we haven't seen since Ronald Reagan. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. Companies will come, they will build, they will expand, new companies will start, and I look very, very much forward to doing it. We have to renegotiate our trade deals, and we have to stop these countries from stealing our companies and our jobs.
Secretary Clinton, would you like to respond?
Well, I think that trade is an important issue. Of course, we are 5% of the world's population. We have to trade with the other 95%. And we need to have smart, fair trade deals. We also, though, need to have a tax system that rewards work and not just financial transactions. And the kind of plan that Donald has put forth would be trickle-down economics all over again. In fact, it would be the most extreme version, the biggest tax cuts for the top percent of the people in this country that we've ever had. I call it trumped up trickle-down, because that's exactly what it would be. That is not how we grow the economy. We just have a different view about what's best for growing the economy, how we make investments that will actually produce jobs and rising incomes. I think we come at it from somewhat different perspectives. I understand that. You know, Donald was very fortunate in his life, and that's all to his benefit. He started his business with $14 million borrowed from his father, and he really believes that the more you help wealthy people, the better off we'll be, and that everything will work out from there. I don't buy that. I have a different experience. My father was a small businessman. He worked really hard. He printed drapery fabrics on long tables where he pulled out those fabrics and he went down with a silk screen and dumped the paint in and took the squeegee and kept going. And so what I believe is the more we can do for the middle class, the more we can invest in you, your education, your skills, your future, the better we will be off and the better we'll grow. That's the kind of economy I want us to see again.
Let me follow up with Mr. Trump if I can. You've talked about creating 25 million jobs, and you've promised to bring back millions of jobs for Americans. How are we going to bring back the industries that have left this country for cheaper labor overseas? How specifically are you going to tell American manufacturers that you have to come back?
Well, for one thing, and before we start on that, my father gave me a very small loan in 1975, and I built it into a company that's worth many, many billions of dollars with some of the greatest assets in the world. And I say that only because that's the kind of thinking that our country needs. Our country's in deep trouble.
Okay, I need to say something. Remember, people, when we say this in the beginning, we have ABC testing?
Yes.
Because the backfire can come up for the moderator, that can come back from the opponent or can come back from the audience. Hillary, what did she did? Let's go back forward, because I'm sorry, Elba, but I don't want to forget this. What she did was pull a red carpet for him. He was accusing the strongest suit Donald Trump had. And again, I don't freaking care about any of those. I don't like neither of those.
Me neither.
But he accused him like, no, your father gave you money. Back to you, backfired. Well, he only gave me $1 million. Look who I am today.
Yes.
You can disagree with whatever, but you need to remember, the West Coast and the East Coast is a small proportion compared to the rest of the United States who want to be Donald Trump. They don't want to be Hillary. So she served him in silver plate a phrase to use against him. When the moderator asked, how are you going to bring the job back to the United States? Well, let me tell you something. The same way I did it. Small loans and become millionaires and make America big, great again. And I have so much, like when she was looking at her, really?
Yes.
I want to slap her.
Yeah, you know what? When I heard this, I was like, really? You are putting the stage to him he can shine. From the bad thing you said, he can shine about it. So I was like,
it was like she was
about him.
it was like she is helping him to shine.
Yes.
So, and it's different when he was looking at her during the day, like, she was like, why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? You agreeing? So when she was
yes, that's the point, because she was doing this, like she's agreeing with it. Why you are agreeing with your opponent? And you need to stick with your things. You don't need to go. You don't need to say how the other person is doing it. You need to stick with the things that you are doing it. Because we don't care about if you buy or not buy the things that he is saying. Because
but
it's
you
not about
agreeing,
your personal opinion.
your head agreeing. So she was, you know what happened? She couldn't blink. She had so much Botox and filler on the eye. She couldn't blink. So she was blinking all the time. The amount of blinking, the blinking is 16 to 20 times a minute. She was blinking like double. I don't know if you count the blinking, but she was like going crazy blinking, because with the lights, and you need to understand when you're in that place, you cannot see the audience. Barely
No,
you can see the
lights.
moderator. And one of the reasons most people don't know, the cameras, they have a light on top, and the lights go sometimes from white to orange to red. It's white when you're not live, orange is when you come in next, and red and when you that camera is pointing you, so you know what you need to look for. But that's the only thing you do. So with the brightness, you need to blink a lot. So when you have an excess of skin that can the muscle working, you tend to blink, and that's nervousness. So what she was doing, like, this was her relaxed face. Actually, a lot of people get creepy, like, what, she's smiling like the Joker. So they pulled too much skin, they put too much skin. So she was blinking at, like, why are you agreeing with him? She was making him look good. And another, tell me, I'm sorry,
Yes.
but this
Here,
is that,
here,
you know, that is
I
my
want
passion.
to put this, because this is go with what you are saying. She's agreeing with him. So what do you think people is thinking in that time? What's they thinking? It's like, if she's agreeing with him, so maybe this can be a good thing to do too. So it's like, no, you cannot do that.
So when you disagree with someone, avoid. One of the things that I think one things that Amber Heard did well when she was on the case, she was taking notes about things, and she was looking on like the rear mirror of her eye, and she didn't have an expression. People complain about the lack of expression. I think she take it to the level they shouldn't have been taken, because they shouldn't have emotions. When he laughed, she shouldn't have get blush. When he says things that were painful, she shouldn't have show anger, like touching the chest. It wasn't good acting. People, this is acting. That is not real feeling. When you get there, you don't get you. When you get there, you're not there. So, and another thing I love about what he did, and she didn't run. He started talking about what he was going to do. It BrainWorks was a time where people start complaining about all the jobs were overseas. I don't know what is going to happen the next election, because 50% of the CEOs says that they're going to start firing people. First, remote workers. If you're not working on the office and I'm paying you $250,000, why don't I want to hire 10 or 20 people for the same salary in India when they're overqualified and you're not? Second one is going to be salespeople, because they, in order to bring them to the company during the pandemic, they pay too much. So that is going to be one of the things of the debate. I want to know if he's going to be a candidate, he's going to pull that again. We're not going to analyze what he did as a president. We're talking about what people want to hear. So people is desperate. Recession is coming. On that point, people was desperate because we was losing jobs. We were losing factories. Places like Detroit. Detroit used to be the factory center of the world. The jobs were taken to Mexico. People in Detroit vote for him. They love him. So you need to understand, again, this is a strategy. That is how we work. Now, he was talking to the people. He was talking to the camera. She has spent more time doing the Michigan study, justifying herself, replying to him, and talking to him. If you are so lightheaded as a candidate, as a president, to be attacked, what is going to happen when I put you in front of Russia? You have 30 years on the Senate, and you don't have thick skin to be dealing with a shithole clown, because he's a clown. Don't get me wrong. I think I have fun with him. I don't take it seriously.
Me neither.
I wasn't a person of this guy one time, and I remember tilting my head and looking like this. I feel like I'm a circus, 5 years old. I just got to take the show, and that's it. Take the show. Let her be ridiculous. Sansu, if your opponent have a cholera, provoke them and do nothing. Guess what he did to her? Sansu, ABC Sansu, he provoked her, and instead to says, well, Donald, thank you very much for your opinion. Let me tell you how I'm going to address it.
Yes.
She was replying to him. You need to reply to you own your answers to your people, not to the candidate.
Yes, that's
and
the
I
point
get really
here.
passionate. It's not that I'm really passionate. It is.
No, I get it, because it's true. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to answer to him. Why? Because he can say whatever he wants. It's his opinion, not yours. And you need to be you need to be people need to perceive like you're having the things together.
You're stable, you have your things together,
Yes.
you can negotiate, you can take a punch.
And you have the thick skin, like you said, because these kind of things can happen.
And there were so many things in that election. And again, it was a couple of years ago, and he says, what the heck you guys doing? Like, elections coming, we don't know what is the candidate, but you need to learn things about the political maneuvers they're done that you don't understand. She was the first female candidate. He was a misogynist. The play was set. She had everything on her favor. He didn't win. She lost.
Yes.
And I know it's painful. And I have friends who are Democrats, and I adore him. And I have this fight. And finally, when they stop being polarized and listen, guess what? I have Democrat friends who says, I hate her so much, then I vote for him. It's called go negative in politics. When you have three, it's like the decoy effect. Today, we're going to go hardcore political campaign 101. We call it decoy effect. So you have Hillary and you have Donald, and you have a third candidate. So what you do is when these two are too polarized, you get to bring another candidate to the top. So people get deviated, and when they get deceived by this candidate, the votes come back to the right person. So you elevate one person, make that person be the center of attention. You take one of the things this candidate do wrong, and you polarize and conduct it to your candidate. It's one of the simple decoy strategies done all the time. She had it all. So what happened, I have friends who says, female Democrat against the banning abortion, equal right, everything, confessing to me in private, I vote for him because I hate her so much. I never, ever believe that he's going to receive so much vote, and I regret it. And please don't say my name, but I need to recognize he being president was my fault. So you need to understand that happened. Don't shoot us. Just stop being polarized.
Just think about it.
Think about this. Think about how you need to think about the candidate. And sometimes people do not vote because red or black or white or blue, because the family coming. We analyzing what the things are done wrong and right. Use this information. Tell us what you think in the comment. You don't agree? Great. Just be respectful about. Somebody says about that we talk like we are two friends having coffee. Because it's true. We're two friends having coffee with you. This is a conversation. We are not on the poster of lecture you. No, participate. Tell us what you think. You don't agree? Great. It's lovely to have people who disagree. Just be respectful for the opinions and says, this is BS. I don't believe it. Tell us why. Tell us your option. Let's have a debate that we can bring in the next show and talk about the things. But we are showing you why and how they doing this to you. And so you can be better informed on the next election. Elba?
Yes, I agree with it. And you know what? Talking about that, I don't remember was the first show when we came back after the break we had, and someone asked for this debate that we can talk about it. But that's why it's not that you don't need to be agreeing with us. It's not force. You need to put your opinion out there, because if everyone thinks the same, it doesn't have a reason. It doesn't have a meaning. It won't have that sugar thing. So
Nope.
I think it's a good thing to you to have your own opinion. And with this, you can set and you can, it's not about the colors. It's about which one can handle the pressure that it's going to happen when they get to be, when they go to be a president.
I love to show politics debates, and we have Nixon, Kennedy, we have used how many times? Million times. And we,
Yes.
every time that we do a presentation with that, people come up with like, oh, I didn't think about that angle. It's so you can understand it happened in politics. If you know how to navigate politics, you can navigate everything. That's the reason I prefer politics than corporate America. Actually, politics is cleaner than corporate America.
Yes.
We're not going to work anymore, ever again, honey, in corporate America after this. Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think so. So, new website. I love the new website. Remember, we were talking about persona. Susan Ibitz is the human equivalent of a polygraph machine. That was the most controversial post I ever saw in my life. And guess what? I love it. These are the PG-13, the PG-13 testimonials we ask for our clients. Yeah. So this is our new website. This is me trying to be a smart ass. I hate it. But you know what? Oh, wait. So, okay, I'm going to put it here. I always do the same. Thank God I'm good at my job. So this is our new website. We love it. We simplify it. We take 90% of the website. Now it's clear. Now it's simple. But what I love is the new classes we have. We have the Manipulation Bible. It started now in November. We have the Realtors Academy. Now it's going to be a complicated, but you know what? Interest rates are going to be the way they are. We have with Richard Harris for the Harris Consulting Group, Sales Intelligent, and we have face reading 10 features in 10 days, and we have face reading profiling Bible. I love that class. You want to know more about us and how we simplify things in our new image, and I love it. I can wait for Elba to have hers. Go to humanbehaviorlab.com. Bitch, you're gonna need
talking to me.
Oh, you're talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Fight number 2. Bing. I didn't put the bell in this one.
And Hillary, I just ask you this. You've been doing this for 30 years. Why are you just thinking about these solutions right now? For 30 years you've been doing it, and now you're just starting to think of solutions.
Well,
I
actually,
will bring, excuse me, I will bring back jobs. You can't bring back jobs.
Well, actually, I have thought about this quite a bit.
Yeah, for 30
and
years.
I have, well, not quite that long. I think my husband did a pretty good job in the 19...
I'm sorry. I need to interrupt. You know me.
Yes.
Not that long.
Not that long.
Actually, not that long.
It's like,
don't try to be a smart ass when you have your ass wiped. Swipe, wipe, whatever you want to say. Let's say that is. She's being used as a tablecloth on the floor, and she's allowing it. Actually, not that long.
not that long.
Don't be a smart ass. Try to reply really fast when somebody's attacking you. Let them go.
Yes.
Sun Tzu, I can go. I think it's going to cost you like $10 to go to Audible. And it's a lovely version about Machiavelli and Sun Tzu, the Prince of Machiavelli and the art world of Sun Tzu. And they're both, and they're talking about and how to go together. Read about that. If you don't agree with this show, go to Audible. Again, I think it's less than $10. It's like 4 hours of listening. Go for a walk, come back. You can listen a day and understand why he is feeding her and she is agreeing with his feeding.
Yes, she's replying.
Don't be a smart.
Yes, it's like.
Don't be a smart ass. Ignoring. Do you know how you hurt someone the most? Ignore them.
Yes.
If she would ignore, she would be better. She was trying to reply fast when she didn't have. Remember ABC testing that we do when we're preparing people? We prepare them for this and we record and we practice and practice and practice until you get numb to replaying to people. That's the work people like us does. Why? You're going to be yelling me to 4 hours that the training? Like, yeah. Because at the end, you're not going to freaking care what people saying about you. You're just going to do your job. And I hope, and I know the person who worked in his campaign and the person who worked in her campaign. By the way, the person who worked in her campaign is not working anymore. No, I'm political. Actually, the person is working in advertisement. I don't want to even know what campaigns he's working on. Oh, come on, Susan, get your things together. Okay. Let's hear again the part we're saying where.
And Hillary, I just ask you this. You've been doing this for 30 years. Why are you just thinking about these solutions right now? For 30 years you've been doing it, and now you're just starting to think of solutions.
Well, actually,
I will bring back jobs. You can't bring back jobs.
Well, actually, I have thought about this quite a bit.
Yeah, for 30 years.
I have, well, not quite that long. I think my husband did a pretty good job in the 1990s. I think a lot about what worked and how we can make it work again.
Well, he approved
3 million
NAFTA.
new jobs,
He approved
a balanced
NAFTA,
budget,
which is the single worst trade deal ever approved in this country.
Incomes went up for everybody. Manufacturing jobs went up also in the 1990s, if we're actually going to look at the facts. When I was in the Senate, I had a number of trade deals that came before me, and I held them all to the same test. Will they create jobs in America? Will they raise incomes in America? And are they good for our national security? Some of them I voted for. The biggest one, a multinational one known as CAFTA, I voted against. And because I hold the same standards as I look at all of these trade deals. But let's not assume that trade is the only challenge we have in the economy. I think it is a part of it, and I've said what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a special prosecutor. We're going to enforce the trade deals we have, and we're going to hold people accountable. When I was Secretary of State, we actually increased American exports globally 30%. We increased them to China 50%. So I know how to really work to get new jobs and to get exports that help to create more new jobs.
Well, you haven't done it in 30 years or 26 years.
Well, I've been a senator.
You haven't done it.
And I have been a Secretary of State, and I have
Your husband signed NAFTA, which was one of the worst things that ever happened to the manufacturing industry.
That is your opinion.
You go to New England, you go to Ohio, Pennsylvania, you go anywhere you want, Secretary Clinton, and you will see devastation where manufacturing is down 30, 40, sometimes 50%. NAFTA is the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, but certainly ever signed in this country. And now you want to approve Trans-Pacific Partnership. You were totally in favor of it. Then you heard what I was saying, how bad it is, and you said, I can't win that debate. But you know that if you did win, you would approve that, and that will be almost as bad as NAFTA. Nothing will ever top NAFTA.
That is just not accurate. I was against it once it was finally negotiated and the terms were laid out. I wrote about that in...
You called it the gold standard. You called it the gold standard of trade deals. You said it's the finest deal you've ever seen.
No.
And then you heard what I said about it, and all of a sudden you were against it.
Well, Donald, I know you live in your own reality, but that is not the facts. The facts are, I did say I hoped it would be a good deal, but when it was negotiated, which I was not responsible for, I concluded it wasn't. I wrote about that.
So is it President Obama's fault? Is it President Obama's fault?
Even announced. Look, there are
Secretary, is it President Obama's fault?
There are
because he's pushing it.
There are different views about what's good for our country, our economy, and our leadership in the world. And I think it's important to look at what we need to do to get the economy going again. That's why I said new jobs with rising incomes, investments, not in more tax cuts that would add $5 trillion to the debt.
But you have no plan.
Oh, I do.
Secretary,
in fact,
you
I
have no plan.
A book about it. It's called Stronger Together. You can pick it up tomorrow.
That's about all you...
Folks,
at the bookstore or at an airport near you.
We're going to move to...
But it's because I see this. We need to have strong growth, fair growth, sustained growth. We also have to look at how we help families balance the responsibilities at home and the responsibilities at business. So we have a very robust set of plans, and people who have looked at both of our plans have concluded that mine would create 10 million jobs and yours would lose us 3.5 million jobs and explode.
You are going to approve one of the biggest tax cuts in history. You are going to approve one of the biggest tax increases in history. You are going to drive business out. Your regulations are a disaster, and you're going to increase regulations all over the place. And by the way, my tax cut is the biggest since Ronald Reagan. I'm very proud of it. it will create tremendous numbers of new jobs. But regulations, you are going to regulate these businesses out of existence. When I go around, Lester, I tell you this, I've been all over. And when I go around, despite the tax cut, the things that businesses and people like the most is the fact that I'm cutting regulation. You have regulations on top of regulations, and new companies cannot form, and old companies are going out of business, and you want to increase the regulations and make them even worse. I'm going to cut regulations, but I'm going to cut taxes big league, and you're going to raise taxes big league.
Why is she smiling?
I don't know. It's like, you know, I need to say this. She is defending herself. And when you're defending yourself, you lose. You lose.
University of Michigan 2010.
Yes.
Go to the study.
You go to the study. You lost the point. You go around because you need to defend yourself. So you're putting this together, you are all over the place. So that's what happened, because he's sticking with the things, and you she's saying, putting the responsibility in Obama. Like, wait a minute, we are not talking about it. And we are not talking about your husband. And we are talking about you. What you are going to.
You put it there. So both did a wrong mentioning. Mm-hmm. He mentioned Nixon, oh my God, the actor. Since I have COVID in July.
Michael.
No. Reagan. He mentioned Reagan. Reagan was considered one of the worst presidents in a story. Like, we have AIDS to the roof because he was denied. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. And she was mentioning her husband. Again, backfire on both. She didn't do the backfire to him. She couldn't have done a really good job. Backfire, and I forgot to close the windows. Using not line. So I cannot stop and close it. But anyway, so Reagan, she couldn't have used Reagan to backfire him. He didn't do it. She didn't do it. But he used Clinton. You cannot, by any means, compare yourself with Clinton. I always says the same. I was in a room. He walked in the room, and I says to the person I was talking, he was in my back. He's in the room now, and says, yes, how you know? I can feel the presence. I have people who it's been on his debate, and I have been on the debates and look at him like, the son of a bitch is looking at me, and people in the other with the walkie-talkie says, he's looking at me. Like, no, he's looking at me. He have the gift she didn't have. He's a perfect oratory speaker. He was amazing. Do not compare yourselves. I wish your husband would prepare you to know when to shut up. You don't have the candor. He was impeached the time he finished what Donald Trump was saying, but Clinton did two presidencies, impeach. Nothing happened. What I'm saying is, be careful what you put on the table, then people can attack you. Don't be so fast to throw things. Step back, make the other one yell. When you try to cut the other person when they're talking to reply, when you're so worried about replying to the other person, you miss the opportunity to shine by yourself. Yeah. Do not fight with him. Something that she did good is, most people complain that China is bringing a lot of business to the United States. She says, I increase the export with China in 50%. She should have kept that track. That was really good. It was difficult for him to recover, like a boxing match. It was difficult for him to recover, but she lost the track. That was a really good call. If she would pick up that and stick to that, instead to, he said, I don't have a plan. Again, she picked up. She spent too much time apologizing himself. He got mad. He was mad at that point. That was the stock. Like, it's called in the gladiators, when when the enemy is down, you just get the to get the blessing blade. She couldn't have done it perfectly there. What happened? Her ego got on the way. She did really well, because it's not fair to attack. We're not attacking, we're talking about strategic. She did really well with the China. She did really well with that, with the increase, but he attacked you with 30 years. You didn't do it. And says, my position was to review. Now I'm going to review when you didn't do it. My husband, by the way, my husband did a great job when he says, well, your husband approved NAFTA. Yeah, my husband did a good job. When he attacks, says, well, I wasn't responsible for NAFTA.
Yes.
Get your vote together. Get your fact together, lady. You cannot be saying was the best thing that happened to the United States and after says, I'm not responsible. You're responsible or you're responsible.
Yes.
Do not change flags and don't change ships in the middle of the ocean, because people who does believe in NAFTA, now they don't believe in you. You lose the ones against and you lose the ones in favor, because if you change underwear based on the wearing the clothing that you're wearing, you are concentrated on the wrong thing. You make a mistake, stick with it. Let it go. Do not reinforce trying to fix that mistake. You says you agree with NAFTA. Okay, what I want to say is like, I agree with NAFTA. Now, I don't believe in killing everything done before. It's always room for improvement. That was signing on the 80s. Now we're on in the 2000 and something. We're going to review based on the economy today, the need today, and the new generations to come. But we're not going to kill everything that has been done before, because there's always something good and something bad. Wow.
And that's it. Live it like that. And she said one thing that I like it too. This is your opinion.
Yeah.
She
that was brilliant.
Thank
you very much.
That. Like, okay, this is your opinion, and then let's go with the things that she needs to say, but not just keeping to defending and keeping arguing the things that he was saying. Yep. Because he, like you said, he lost it. He was angry. He was mad. He was like, the best way to deal with it will be like, okay, keep going through everything you want. So that gives you time to think what you are going to answer them.
Yep. She got it 2 or 3 times, and she lost it. And it was painful. I remember when we watched this together, we were jumping, like yelling, and like I was with someone like, Susana, you're okay? Like, no, I'm not okay. I want to be there.
Yes. And you know what? It's a better way. And it's true. You need to be like, take the things, calm down, and answer. Because that was the perfect moment for her to kill him.
To shine.
Yes.
And like it says, when I have take positions where somebody else was doing something, I like, now I'm on 2 board of directors and two associations. And when it says, oh, you're going to review what other people did, what are you going to do? So we need to start from scratch. You're like, no, wait. Nope. And actually one of the positions says, nope, we're not going to touch anything done. It's perfectly done. We're going to add on top. And I remember the president of the association saying, Susan, it's not going to be good for you. Like, why? People is going to work with me because I will not going to overpower them. And guess what? They love working with me because I don't overpower them. And I love to be in those 2 board of directors. So be intelligent. If you come in crazy, killing everything happened before, people is not going to trust you because they know you send it as a designated sacrifice goat. We always in politics, we have a sacrifice goat. As soon as something go bad, someone has been hired since the beginning to be the one who we're going to cut the head in case something goes wrong. That happened in politics.
Yes.
So good for him, attacking. Good for her, using about China, the 50%. Bad for him, he almost lost it. If she would have been more intelligent, he would have lost it. Bad for her, saying, using the husband, going against the husband, agreeing with the NAFTA, going against the NAFTA. Bad for him, using Reagan, and bad for her, not attacking about Reagan. Reagan has so many things to attack. Actually, the worst presidential debate with less emotional was from the only dude who was an actor.
Wow, yeah. And you know what? Use the words in your favor, not against you. Use the words in your favor. That's why you need to step it up and think, because she can kill him with the things, using the same words, the same things as he was using it. But she was like, she lost it too.
And by the way, everybody is a cockroach. They call it earpiece. In politics, we use the cockroach because if you don't listen to me, I'm going to be drilling your head. That's the reason we call it cockroach. I was talking with a journalist last week. That's the reason we couldn't do, because we were working with a TV channel, giving opinion about the politics happening. That it says, will you kill a cockroach? Like, that is so disgusting. Like, you need to imagine what I'm going to do to your brain if you have me in your ear and like, Oh, Susan, you're right. You do that when I'm on air. Like, yeah, that's what I do to politicians. Imagine having me for 6 months doing that in your head. Yeah, you're a cockroach. That's what happened. Fight number 3. Anything about it? Guys,
Go.
free speech. Do
Yes.
whatever you want to do.
Comment.
Comment. If you don't agree, don't say, I do not agree. Says, why do not
For your
agree?
opinion.
Says, what is the paragraph? Go back. The reason their videos are long and we don't chop it is because we don't want to take only one word. We want to see the context. And you get in the temperature, like, oh my God, that's how I was feeling. That's what I'm going. We want you to feel the emotions going to that situation so you can understand, like, wait a minute, they were using my emotions against me. Yes, they were using your emotions against you. So if you want to review, go back again, put what is your opinion. What do you think? If you don't agree, tell us what. And if you agree, tell us what too. And by the way, share, because it's not fair to
Keep it just for you.
only for yourself. That is so mean.
No.
Fight number 3.
The next segment, we're going to talk taxes.
that can't be left
Please
to
just
stand.
take 30 seconds, and then we're
I
gonna go
kind
on.
of assumed that there would be a lot of these charges and claims. And so
Facts.
we have taken the homepage of my website, HillaryClinton.com, and we've turned it into a fact checker. So if you want to see in real time what the facts are, please go and take a look. Because
And
what
take a
I
look
have
at mine
proposed
also,
would
and you'll
not
see.
add a penny to the debt, and your plans would add $5 trillion to the debt. What I have proposed would cut regulations and streamline them for small businesses. What I have proposed would be paid for by raising taxes on the wealthy, because they have made all the gains in the economy. And I think it's time that the wealthy and corporations paid their fair share to support this
Well,
country.
you just opened the next segment.
Well,
which is
look,
the-
could I just finish?
Actually,
I think I should.
I'm going to
You
give you
go
a
to her
chance right here.
website
With the
and
new
you take a look at
15-minute
her
segment,
website. She's
it's on
going to
the-
raise.
Remember when we says the A/B testing? Do not
Yes.
open doors, because can be by your opponent, can be by the mediator, or can be by the public. This is the second time in 3 segments that we saw that she opened a door that she couldn't close, that she couldn't hold the zombies coming against her. And he said, when you just open the door, it's a term in politics. You just open the door for the next segment when she couldn't close the one before. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that people can understand the ABC testing. In media and advertising, you have AB. In politics, you have ABC testing, because you have 3 fronts. It's worse, it's more danger, it's most complicated. Elba?
Yes, you don't need to open the door if you don't know how you can close it.
Or worse, you can close the door and get the zombies if you have the right guns to attack.
But it's about to think about it first. It's about to be strategic.
Oh, really? Think about it.
Yes.
Wow. They should have think about that, B. Oh, God.
Raise taxes $1.3 trillion.
Mr. Trump,
And look at her website. You know what? It's no different than this. She's telling us how to fight ISIS. Just go to her website. She tells you how to fight ISIS on her website. I don't think General Douglas MacArthur would like that
All right,
too much.
The next segment, we're continuing
Well,
the
at
subject
least
of
I have a plan to fight
achieving-
ISIS.
Only to be clear, do not piss the militaries. Secretary of
No.
Defense. The president, actually, if we went to war, actually the president doesn't have any say on that. Do not piss the military, because they can revoke you. They can take you on contempt. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't piss the military when you want to be a president. Don't piss another cabinets, because they're going to come back to you. Those are not positions that are you pointed. Those are positions that are there before you exist.
Yeah.
Be careful who you
Yeah.
turn your enemy. If you're intelligent enough, who you turn to your enemy as against you is great. When people, they were doing a show the other day, I was watching Erin Huntley, and somebody was criticizing other profilers, and I guess, I hope we come in. Like, shoot, they didn't criticize it. We're not good enough. We need to be criticized. We need people says what we do is bullshit. It's the same. If you know, Oscar Wilde says, you don't measure your success, again, praising others. You don't measure your success for your for your friends. You measure your success for your enemies. And Groucho Marx, oh my God, I forgot Groucho Marx, and says people forget everything except success. So be careful. If you choose right way your enemies as way you choose your friends, you're gonna win.
Yes.
No, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do.
No, we're not.
See, you're telling the enry everything you want to do. No wonder you've been fighting. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life.
Folks,
That's go to the please.
Do you have anything to say?
Yes, it's like you are telling your enemy what you're going to do, and she's like, we are not. You don't need to justify that. It's like, this is your opinion. So you are my enemy? So that's the kind of things that you don't need. You need to be aware of what you are saying out there. Because that thing that you are saying,
well played from him
against you. Yes.
Well played for him, but bad play for her.
Yes. So it's, for me, it's like, you need to be really conscious about what you are saying, because that things can be against you.
Yes.
So you need to close all the things so you are safe. So again, don't open the door if you're not sure that you can close it, or if you are not have the right weapons to fight for it.
And you have the most misogynist, egocentric guy that you can have. That was a banquet. That is been 50 years diabetic, and suddenly you can eat all the sweets you want. God, I would have paid to be on her team. I would have paid to be on her team.
Yes. But wait for it, because she talks about it too.
So he was a misogynist. He was accused of abuse, sex, all the things that everybody hate about it. And people vote against her.
Not in favor.
Oh, God.
Not in favor of him. It was against her.
So
that's how you can. It's not about who win here. It was about who lost.
She lost, and oh God, he was perfect candidate to destroy. Actually, between you and I, for the people who was around him, he wasn't expecting to win. He always ran to lose. Actually,
yeah, but she lost first. So
actually, most people, you know what? Get your info, people. Get your information. Go to the archives. Review. That's the reason you don't need to hire the best political consultant. You need to hire somebody who knows where to dig the dirt. Most people don't know, but in the 80s, when the New York 5 case happened, the false confession, he went on the media, says we need to reinstitute the death sentence. Years later, they were exonerated because there were false confessions. I would have used that. We have all the media outlets, and the New York Times first place says Donald Trump says that we need to reinstitute the death penalty. Nobody used it. Get your archive. That's the reason I always work with a librarian. And he says, why you hire? And says, I remember showing up and says, this is my librarian. This is my scriber. I'm like, why you have a librarian? Because when we didn't have internet like now. They says, okay, I need you to go to Congress and get me everything on the last 20 years and newspapers and this and this. They bring the books, like ton of photocopies, and like, okay, now I need the scribers, go to find me everything that you have. Now you can Google it, but still we use a librarian. Librarian is the one who can organize the information based on when you need it. So when you prepare a debate, you says to librarian or the archives, I call it the archives nerd, or the mouse. Where's the mouse? We call it the mouse because they go to all the papers and says, I need everything that you have, and this and this and this. And it's not only what you have, it's how you archive your information when you need to pull it. And if you're, for any reason, you're not in sight, somebody can do it. So now you start understanding and learning how a campaign is set. It's not you only on the cockroach telling politicians what to do. It's the team that you get together. He have the best, to me, the best political consultant who was retired. He bring it out of retirement. She have kid who supposedly know about Twitter. That's not how you work.
No, it's
That's not how we work.
It's not. It's about the research you need to do before. So you need to do your homework.
The devil knows for being old and being the devil.
Yes.
That's another phrase that I have. Let's ring. But before, remember, it's not fun to have fun by yourself. Good friends don't let other friends drink and drive. Good friends don't let other people not to enjoy when you haven't enjoyed the show. So if you like, share. And if you don't like, share too. The media says we don't share poverty, we don't share sadness, we show anger and fun. So if you're having fun, share. If you're having anger because we pissed you off, share, tip, and comment.
Yes.
Be respectful. How you find us? Go to Susan Ibitz at Human Behavioral Lab. What I'm saying this because you never know what is watching us. Okay, 4 and we have 5. So let's go to number 4. Oh my God, 1 hour, 10 minutes.
Get to
Okay,
work.
you are unpacking a lot here, and we're still in the issue of achieving prosperity. And I want to talk about taxes. The fundamental difference between the two of you concerns the wealthy. Secretary Clinton, you're calling for a tax increase in the wealthiest Americans. I'd like you to further defend that. And Mr. Trump, you're calling for tax cuts for the wealthy. I'd like you to defend that. And this next 2-minute answer goes to you, Mr. Trump.
Well, I'm really calling for major jobs because the wealthy are going to create.
Only for the people who is watching us from outside United States. The Americans we have because I'm an American citizen, we have assessed the only 2 things that you cannot avoid is debt and the taxes. Some people says, if you want to destroy your opponent, talk about taxes. If you want to avoid to be destroyed, avoid talking about taxes. They open a Pandora box here, and that's where it go all over the way. So one says cutting, they put it into the majority, minority. So taxes is one of the things. The first thing when you got a political campaign that you put on the whiteboard, topics to avoid. Guess what is the first? Taxes, abortion, religion, and education. The 4 topics you try to avoid. And because you need to avoid it, you need to how to rephrase it. She opened the Pandora box. The presenter says you just open to the new topic. Why? That is the reason we choose the parts and on the debates that we have. We have, I don't know, 20 something hours, and we choose, I think it was like 20 minutes of debate.
20 minutes.
It's for a reason. It's for a reason. Our madness have a reason.
Have a reason.
Oh, come on.
It's not the 5. We're still in the 4.
Do you know whose fault is mine?
We're still in the issue of achieving prosperity. And I want to talk about taxes. The fundamental difference between the two of you concerns the wealthy. Secretary Clinton, you're calling for a tax increase in the wealthiest Americans. I'd like you to further defend that. And Mr. Trump, you're calling for tax cuts for the wealthy. I'd like you to defend that. And this next 2-minute answer goes to you, Mr. Trump.
Well, I'm really calling for major jobs because the wealthy are going to create tremendous jobs. They're going to expand their companies. They're going to do a tremendous job. I'm getting rid of the carried interest provision. And if you really look, it's not a tax. It's really not a great thing for the wealthy. It's a great thing for middle class. It's a great thing for companies to expand. And when these people are going to put billions and billions of dollars into companies, and when they're going to bring $2.5 trillion back from overseas, where they can't bring the money back because politicians like Secretary Clinton won't allow them to bring the money back because the taxes are so onerous and the bureaucratic red tape. So what is so bad? So what they're doing is they're leaving our country, and they're, believe it or not, leaving because taxes are too high and because some of them have lots of money outside of our country, and instead of bringing it back and putting the money to work because they can't work out a deal to, and everybody agrees it should be brought back, instead of that, they're leaving our country to get their money because they can't bring their money back into our country because of bureaucratic red tape, because they can't get together, because we have a president that can't sit them around a table and get them to approve something. And here's the thing. Republicans and Democrats agree that this should be done. $2.5 trillion. I happen to think it's double that. It's probably $5 trillion that we can't bring into our country, Lester. And with a little leadership, you'd get it in here very quickly, and it could be put to use on the inner cities and lots of other things, and it would be beautiful. But we have no leadership. And honestly, that starts with Secretary Clinton.
All right, you have 2 minutes on the same question to defend tax increases on the wealthiest Americans, Secretary Clinton.
I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? You know, just join the debate by saying more crazy things. Now, let me say
There's nothing crazy about not letting our companies.
Why? Hillary, why?
You know what? He set the stage to her and she agreed with it. She labeled herself. It's, oh my God.
Okay, let's finish this because it's painful to see her. Even though after so many years, it's still painful to see her.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Did I say that a lot?
Yes, maybe. I don't know if I heard it.
We're gonna get demonetized again.
Lots of money outside of our country, and instead of bringing it back and putting the money to work because they can't work out a deal to, and everybody agrees it should be brought back, instead of that, money, because they can't, because if they can't get together, get them to approve that they can't bring into our country here, very of other things, no leadership with Secretary Clinton.
All right, you have 2 minutes on the same question to defend tax increases on the wealthiest Americans, Secretary Clinton.
I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Okay, Elba, I'm sorry, I'm losing my marbles. Remember when we says that let it go, ditch the bullet, whatever you want to say. She is bringing the ammunition. Okay, this son is killing me. So she's bringing the ammunition to herself. I'm going to be blamed for everything. Nobody told you that. You put the sign.
We are not talking about, and he said, without leadership, and we start with Hillary Clinton. And she starts saying, I know that I'm going to be blamed for everything. Why you say that? We are not talking about blames. We are talking about facts.
Okay, I'm going to give an example and interrogation. Okay, I need to move. I forgot to. I always do the same. Okay, I disconnect my computer. So in the middle of the next video, when I connect my computer again. So what happened is, I'm going to give another example. We are investigating the murder or the robbery of the grocery store. I wasn't near to the grocery store in Fifth Avenue. I didn't say it was a Fifth Avenue. It was somebody took a car on the parking lot. Oh, thank God I was far away from that parking lot. Just says, what happened? Why are you excusing yourself when nobody's attacking you? That's what she did here. So, and we're going to talk about false confession. Only 18% of the people ask for the lawyer. Teach that in school. If nobody told you, you're going to be blamed for everything. Move on. Don't put it out there, because the only thing I remember about this segment, and how long? Okay, let's see. Why are you not showing? Okay, I don't remember how long is this segment. The only thing I remember is like, now I'm gonna be blamed for everything. Like, why is the only thing I remember here? Because you say it. And you remember me.
Yes, and she put it in your mind. She put that phrase in your mind. It's like, you don't need to put that. And you know what? Just enjoy the debate and saying crazy things. Why? This is not serious?
Apparently for her, no.
So you need to be aware.
I'm sorry, people. We agree we're not going to interrupt, and it's 100% my fault. But, and I know it sounds horrible. For me, I do this for fun. And I'm sorry to say that I think I ruined Elba, because she was the voice of the conscience. And guess what? Now she's the one calling me like, Susan, did you see that? Like, honey, I'm so sorry. I ruined you. Having fun watching
today,
these things.
Remember that I sent you a voice note?
If you see our WhatsApp, I should say to my man that it was like, I'm not having any weird thing with Elba. We're just talking about work, like 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. What's going on with you? Like, things are happening. So
yes.
Thank God your husband is sleep really profound, so he doesn't see you like, Susan, I just found this. Check the video. But it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Nobody, go to the bathroom and check the video.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
See.
Okay, let's finish the video when I connect my computer again.
Okay.
Come on. Really?
Put it again. Put it.
Okay, I'm gonna connect the computer.
Okay, but you didn't put it. No. Okay. She's trying to put the computer.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, but people, at the end of the day, I think you need to be aware of these kind of things. You need to think about it. You need to set the stage.
Okay, wait a minute. What happened with the video?
I
The
don't know.
video
But
never
no,
Then it-
never
oh.
sure. That's what I told you. I was
I never,
talking. to
I
the
never
people.
share it.
No.
Okay,
I was doing a great job talking to people, just putting the things out there.
okay. But nothing to see more than what we saw, but like,
No,
Yeah.
I think no. And I think the thing here to remember is that you need to control your words, because those words is going against you. And the things that you put in the people's mind, the things that you want to people remember can be against or in favor. So be aware of it.
why my hair is, the background is black. That's the reason.
Ah,
So-
yeah.
Okay, I get too passionate.
Yes. What happened?
Okay, I'm gonna put this.
Instructing by no.
Okay,
No.
better. So, okay. Okay, this is like for the person who says it's like you two are having too much fun together. Like,
Yes,
yeah, get
that's
it.
the way
That's
we
what we
are.
do. No, let's be serious, because we work with a lot of humor, because the work we do is a lot of pressure. So Elva and I, we have this way to decompensate. And sometimes you guys, it's true, you don't understand that dynamic. But sometimes when you have brains pictures all over your basement, like, yeah, you need to decompress to work on those cases. But again, it's not against or in favor and anyone. It's to understand how much people hurt you with the information you give them. So do
Yes.
not feed your enemy with the information they're going to go against you.
Yes.
We have the last fight before the conclusion.
Yes, we have the last
The
fight.
RO words. Political
You
manipulation.
you never play Mortal Kombat?
Oh yeah, but
I
I
remember
love
fight 1. But now it's fight 5.
5-5. Okay, last one, by the way. Let's go for it.
Mr. Trump, this year, Secretary Clinton became the first woman nominated for president by a major party. Earlier this month, you said she doesn't have, quote, a presidential look. She's standing here right now. What did you mean by that?
She doesn't have the look. She doesn't have the stamina. I said she doesn't have the stamina. And I don't believe she does have the stamina. To be president.
Why you're celebrating, women? Why you're celebrating?
Yes. Like, yeah, you're true. Yeah, that's true. Like, no.
Of this country, you need tremendous stamina.
The quote was,
You
I
have,
just don't think she has
wait a minute, Leslie, you
presidential
asked me a
look.
question. Did you ask me a question? You have to be able to negotiate our trade deals. You have to be able to negotiate, that's right, with Japan, with Saudi Arabia. I mean, can you imagine we're defending Saudi Arabia, and with all of the money they have, we're defending them and they're not paying? All you have to do is speak to them. Wait, you have so many different things you have to be able to do, and I don't believe that Hillary has the stamina.
Let's let her respond.
Well, as soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, a release of dissidents, an opening of new opportunities in nations around the world, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina.
The world, let me tell you, Hillary has experience, but it's bad experience. We have made so many bad deals during the last, so she's got experience, that I agree, but it's bad experience. Whether it's the Iran deal that you're so in love with, where we gave them $150 billion back, whether it's the Iran deal, whether it's anything you can name, you almost can't name a good deal. I agree. She's got experience, but it's bad experience. And this country can't afford to have another 4 years of that kind of experience.
We are at the We are at the final question.
One thing,
Very
Lester,
quickly,
is,
we're at the final question now.
he tried to switch from looks to stamina. But this is a man who has called women pigs, slobs, and dogs. And someone who has said pregnancy is an inconvenience to employers, who has said women don't deserve equal pay unless they do as good a job as men. And one of the worst things he said was about a woman in a beauty contest. He loves beauty contests, supporting them and hanging around them. And he called this woman Miss Piggy. Then he called her Miss Housekeeping because she was Latina. Donald, she has a name.
Where did you find
her
this?
name
Where
is
did you find
Alicia
this?
Machado.
Where did you find
and
this?
she has become a U.S. citizen, and you can bet she's going to vote this November.
Okay, good. Let me just tell you.
Mr. Trump, could you take 10 seconds and then we're going to have the final question.
Hillary is hitting me with tremendous commercials. Some of it said in entertainment. Some of it said somebody who's been very vicious to me, Rosie O'Donnell. I said very tough things to her, and I think everybody would agree that she deserves it, and nobody feels sorry for her. But you want to know the truth? I was going to say something extremely rough to Hillary, to her family, and I said to myself, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's inappropriate. It's not nice. But she spent hundreds of millions of dollars on negative ads on me, many of which are absolutely untrue. They're untrue and they're misrepresentations. And I will tell you this, Lester, it's not nice, and I don't deserve that. But it's certainly not a nice thing that she's done. It's hundreds of millions of ads, and the only gratifying thing is I saw the polls come in today, and with all of that money, over $200 million is spent, and I'm either winning or tied.
Okay. The only time I saw him lose his grit was here.
Yes.
And she didn't do it. He didn't really.
When he started asking, where you find that? Where you find that? And she kept going with the things that she was saying. I like the way she I'm not going to answer to you. I'm just going to put the facts out there. I like the way she responded in this one.
Yeah, she was really good on this one. She lost the grit, but he lost the marbles. He was weak. There was the point to get the blazing blade, like I says it's called the blazing blade. The gladiator blazing blade was just the right moment. He lost it. She took control.
Yes.
She took control. She used the women, but he started with the stamina. So he was, in this case, he was reinforcing what he's saying before. If you don't have the balls to deal with me, how are you going to be dealing with Russia? How are you going to be dealing with China? She deviated the bullet, put it in all these women who are going to vote with me, but she didn't have the sustain. He didn't have the sustain either for any of the attacks he did before. But even though the moderator was overpowered by Trump, that is risky. It's really risky when that happens.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? And I think here, when she started defending herself and putting the facts and saying the things and not paying attention to what he's saying, just stick with the things that she needs to say. I think it was the best way to do it. What we have been saying, if your opponent has a temper, provoke them
and do
nothing. That's what she did here.
So from the 5 debates, I would say the last one is the one who make her look better.
Yes,
so it's to show that it's not intentional, that we're not leading to one another. No. Again, this is about a strategy, but yeah. And the last one, she had the chances to slap him. He did, and he lost it really, really bad. I was her. I would have keep punching and punching. And believe me, I never run for, and one time somebody says, why don't you run for I don't know what you're drinking, but change your dealer. It's not going to happen.
No.
It's not easy to do. Anyway, so one of the classes that we have done, and I love it, is the class that we did with Richard Harris from the Harris Consulting Group, Sales Intelligence. By the way, don't miss this class, because we met with Richard and the tribe once a month in an open class, and you can ask whatever you want, the same way we do with the other classes. Sales Intelligence, we mix the craft of selling with the craft of behavior. We were talking with Richard, we have more than 100 years together of experience. It's make us look so old. I didn't show you this, and let's see if the crowd say it. What decade, year of president says this? And I need to be honest, I'm tricking Elba 100%. I never show you this phrase. I pull it from one of my Black Books notes this morning. Says, I'm going to put it out there. Guess who say it?
The people who cast the
The
votes.
people who
don't
cast the
decide
votes
the
don't
election.
decide the election. The people who counted the votes do.
Ay, Dios.
First clue, it was 100 years ago.
It's Karl Marx.
Nope. Near. It was in Europe. 100 years ago, somebody says, Joseph Stalin.
Stalin.
He was the president of Russia,
Sí.
1924 until 1953 when he died. So when we says that we use Sun Tzu, we use Machiavelli, we use people, like, things doesn't change. Humanity doesn't change. Technology does.
Yes.
So when people want to go against our neck for this show, if we have a show next week, where they can contact you, Elba?
You can go to elbahumanbehaviorlab.com. And for you, Susan?
With my crowd of like, I look like an angel. Too bad I'm Jewish. Susan at humanbehaviorlab.com. Too late, but I closed the curtains. So, to get the fun aside and just talk about the show. Again, we are not have any flag, red, blue, we don't care. We talk about strategies and we talk about how you can utilize it. He have amazing moments, she have amazing moments. She have bad moments, he have bad moments. Everybody had it in any circumstance in life. Is how you play those moments, is how you play those circumstances is what make you winning or losing. These kind of tactics, so we don't keep using the word manipulation, this kind of tactic happen every day. You're going to buy a house. I went to do the service on my car on Saturday. Guess what? They were 15 minutes late. I didn't pay for the service. You was late with the wrong person. But the point, I know the people. I trained the dealership when I got my car, so they lose from the beginning. But you always have the chance to upper hand or lower hand. Is how you play it and how it's done. It happen in politics, happen in corporate America, happen in nonprofit, it happen everywhere. So if you think that you work in an environment where this is not happening, you are gonna keep being depraved, and I'm sorry for you that. You don't need to execute any of this technique, but at least you need to be aware to ditch the bullets. Elba?
Yes, I think you need to use the things in your favor. And that's why you need to be aware of it. So you know how to deal with it and how to handle it and how you use it in your favor. Because be honest, we have been living with these tactics of manipulation since we got born.
That's the reason I put the Stalin quote. Because if you, for what happened this week, oh, the votes are counted. What happened in the last election never happened before. Like, that quote is from 1924, 196 years ago. It's happening forever.
Yes, there's nothing new. There's nothing new. The point here is that you make the difference. How you make the difference, how you use the things that you have in front of you in the moment. That's the difference.
Yes. Again, agree, disagree, don't have fun by yourself. Subscribe to the channel, share, put your comments. The idea to this show, and take a lot of time. Now with Elba, we have an approach that We are not going to watch the material. We have the team editing, which says what we want, how we need it, they put it, and we do the analysis in real time. The reason we get so passionate is not because we're cuckoo, we don't drink any weird, we don't smoke anything, no editables. We're just passionate about what we do. So if you get it, you have so many channels, you have so many people out there. Go with that. It's not personal. I don't take it personal.
No, no, I don't take it, because you know what? Now I get it. It's not personal.
No, it's not personal. It's what we do. We love to do it. We get passionate. And you know what? I prefer to be this way. Personally, I'm going to talk about myself. You can talk about it's not fair to include you in my personal opinions. I love what I do. I'm passionate. I haven't done anything else in my life since I'm 17. The day I lost the passion and the day I start being normal, I'm quitting and changing my name and moving to Alaska. Elba?
Yes, I agree with you. But I think with me, I love what I do. I get so passionate with the things, and I put myself and I change my position. But you know what? When I start studying, for me it was like, oh my God, this is something else. This is something more deeper. So for me, it's like it's gold. So that's why I'm like that. And I don't care if people agree with us or not. It's your opinion, and we respect it.
The same way we expect you respect us.
Yes, this is the way we are, and this is the way we manage things, and we analyze the things.
Yeah, again, we're not justifying, we're explaining the process, because we know we're two weird birds in front of the TV. And you should see Elba when she's not in camera. She's still kind of shy, but you should see the analysis she does. Like, how do you come up with that? Really? Oh my God. And when the cameras show up, it used to happen the same. I always says, the first webinar live that I did, I throw up before, during, and after. Actually, I erased the webinar because I was so ashamed. Thank God there were 4 people, and there were friends like, Susan, are you okay? Like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's where I started doing webinars with Age, another other coach. And at one point, like, Elba, we're doing this together. Why? Girl,
the first one for me was painful. Like, I didn't want to talk in the first one because I didn't know how to handle things. But now you can see I can talk. And yeah, I'm still shy. But you know what? I have my tiger inside. Yes, I'm getting there.
It's easy to criticize when you sit in your couch. Get here, sit with us. You want to come in one of the shows? Let's put it this way. You want to come in one of the shows and do the material with us, raw? Be my guest and let's see what happens.
Yes.
My love, I'm going to see you next Wednesday. The truth to be told, we have 2 shows in the back end. We want to see what happened with Pelosi. I work in a couple of criminal cases and nothing ends up. Nothing much. Nothing work. I call, that's the quality of Elba. I call in Saturday around 6 p.m. like, Elba, we're changing the show. Like, what? Yeah, we're changing the show. Susan, tell me what you need. It says, let's see if we have enough Pelosi information and material for recording on Monday, because I'm going to Miami when this show is going to happen in Miami, sunbathing on the terrace for work. It's the only evening that I have free, Wednesday evening. But we don't have enough material. Let's see for next Monday when we record, or Wednesday, if the things hit the fan too hard, we're going to record on Wednesday and put the show on Wednesday too. If it's not, it's going to be a really good show. We're going to about the winning, losing theory, how we work, how you can use it against or in favor of you. Truth to be told, I hope the Pelosi situation explodes. We have the internal info, but until it's not published by the media, we cannot talk. So let's hope this explodes so we can talk. My love, and I hope they don't cancel the show, because since Twitter is out there, everybody's getting canceled.
But you okay, let's put it one thing out there. We
Don't
talk
say
about
it.
it. We talk about it. We talk about it. Remember, if you need to watch our back shows, because we talk about this.
Go through and you're gonna see what we're talking about. Remember, it's a reason we couldn't talk before this Wednesday. Let's not get in trouble. My love you. See you next Wednesday.
See you next one.